1956, two very important things happened on the power front. One was that Britain, France, and Israel invaded the Suez Canal. And almost as soon as they did, by the way, we had no intelligence, pre-information about it as usual. We had no idea what was going on. It was another surprise. They invaded the Suez Canal, and Eisenhower, without hesitation, told them they better get out. And he specifically told our then closest allies, the British and the French, get out or I will destroy your economies. This is no fooling around. We're not going to have a reestablishment of colonialism while I'm President of the United States. And we were in a position to wreck their economy still. Could have sold the franc and the pound, and that would have been the end of them. And within weeks, they were out of there. It was the first time and the only time America just flatly dominated any international event. Now, I say that because in our reflections today on what we used to be, we've totally lost sight of what was. Almost all the literature today says, you know, we're no longer dominant today the way we were during the Cold War. Well, we weren't dominant during the Cold War. This was a notable exception. The Cold War was a bipolar world, where the Soviet Union was the other superpower. I think we used to refer to it as the other superpower. And basically, we couldn't do much of anything in their world, and they couldn't succeed against us in ours. It's not as if we didn't try. In 1956, our CIA inspired a revolution in Hungary. And the notion was we weren't going to go to war against the Soviet Union, but we would have regime change through revolution. And we told a number of Hungarians that we would support them. We gave them money, we gave them arms, and we encouraged them to revolt in the belief that once they did, the United States would come to their assistance and prevent the Soviets from putting their troops into Hungary and crushing the revolt. Well, we know what happened. They revolted, we didn't come in, and the Soviets crushed them. Many loss of lives. But it was the first kind of stark example of Americans trying to use a form of power in the world that we would use many times in the future to get rid of our enemies by supposed regime change at the sacrifice of the people who lived in those countries, and in almost every case, not in every case, accomplishing nothing in the end. There was no regime change. But it started then because there was this powerful force in our country to do good. And that's how we thought of doing good.